Hello everyone, I am Nilupa. Welcome to the Taksalawa. Today's reading practice class 4. In today's class also I will do one example each from each question type. Same sequence that is appear in the exam. So now let's discuss the first question type. I would like to invite you all to subscribe to my channel for not to miss any videos like this. Now let's go to the video. First question type is reading and writing fill in the blanks. You will basically get a passage like this with some blanks, and you have some answers here in the drop down list, and you have to select the best match answer. This question type is very important in the exam. I will give you 2.5 minutes. After 2.5 minutes, we will discuss this question. Okay, now let's discuss this question. There are soon to be 8 billion of us and counting. Yet, while the world's population is still growing far overall, in many countries, the numbers are blank or will do soon. So now it says now in the world that the population is about 8 billion. Overall, the most countries shows an increase of the population. The numbers are blank, will do soon. So something is going to happen soon. Let's see what are the answers in the blank. Combining, delectable, declining, reclining. So now population can only do here actually increasing or decreasing. It cannot be combined. Like combining something, mixing together now. You can say hydrogen and oxygen is combined to form water. Combining cannot go in here. So delectable. What is delectable? Delectable is some kind of attractiveness of something. So delectable also doesn't go in here based on the meaning. So next answer is declining, and then next answer is reclining. Reclining is lie down in a relaxed position. So recline also doesn't go in here. Based on the elimination strategy, the best suited answer is declining. Let's see what is mentioned in the next sentence. The population of China will begin to fall soon and could fall by 2100. When it comes to the population in China, it could be half in this particular year. So now what is basically saying some kind of a reduction. So therefore, we can get some kind of a clue from the next sentence. It is declining. So the best answer here should be declining. India's will peak around this year, and then this US population will also fall down by this year, if not for my immigration. So if there isn't any immigrants coming to that country, so this by this year, in the US also population will be declined. So now let's move to the next line. So there are two blank issues to deal with. Now we have two issues to deal. So now we can see now this sentence is kind of complete. There are two issues to deal with. Now for this problem, for this concern, we have two issues to consider. So first one is, now you have a colon here. Now this there is and here. So now there are two things here: rapid population growth in some nations, population declines in others. So now there are two issues basically we have to deal. In some countries, there is a rapid population growth. There is another set of countries that population is declining. So now these two issues we have to deal with. Now let's see what can go in here. There are two selective issues. Selective is some kind of a selection. So now you have been given a couple of options and you have to select which is the best. Now here we have two issues. This doesn't go in here. Distinct issues. Distinct is clear. We have two clear issues. So actually this can go in here. We will see what are the other two answers. Corresponding issues. Here extinct. Extinct is no longer exist. So now it's going to disappear soon. So we cannot say two extinct issues to deal with. So either distinct or corresponding. Now corresponding is comparable or equivalent. These are not equivalent issues, clearly different two things that we have to deal with. So that we have to select distinct here. This is clear, two distinct and clearly obvious two issues that we have to deal here. So many see limiting population growth as vital for tackling various environmental catastrophes blank around the world. So limiting the world's population is really essential for tackling, for dealing with environmental concerns around the world. So now we will see what can go in here for this blank. Shrinking around the world. To make it a smaller number around the world. Actually, this doesn't go in here based on the meaning. Now, bustling. What is bustling? Bustling is basically busy. So now it also doesn't go in here based on the meaning. Harnessing. The meaning of harness here is actually controlling around the world. So environmental concerns controlling around the world. Actually, based on the meaning, that also doesn't go in here. So based on the elimination strategy, we definitely have to select this one. What is unfolding? Unfolding is some kind of spreading around the world. So now here, based on the meaning, best suited answer is unfolding. Many sees limiting the plant population growth. So because of this essential requirement of the limitation of the population growth, it helps for dealing with some kind of environmental issues spreading around the world. So you can see there's a question being said within inverted commas and there is no any blank. We can quickly move to the next sentence. Maybe start from here. Yet for wealthy Westerners to call for lower income countries to control their population simply in the name of protecting nature is hypocritical in the extreme, given that the rich have vastly large environmental footprints. So now here you can see now wealthy countries are asking for poor countries to limit the population. Actually, they say that this is very important to protect the nature. Therefore, wealthy countries asking for the low income, poor countries to control their population. Given that rich have vastly large environmental footprints. The reason what they mention here is the rich countries have large environmental footprints. So now they have large area of concern. Now they can control the environment by themselves. Now, this is some kind of a racism. So now here, what's more? Now we are going to give some more information here. There is often more than a blank of racism to such calls. When we consider this kind of a statement that is given by someone else, it's like badly treating. Now, racism is some kind of a discrimination for particular group of people, particular group of race. So now we say this is more often than a variety of racism. Here, actually now it does give only one kind of a racism. So we cannot say here variety of racism. Range of racism also based on the meaning doesn't go in here. Whiff of racism or number of racism. Actually, we have been given only one racist activity. So now what is whiff? Whiff is actually some kind of a sign, some kind of a signal. We can also say some kind of a smell of racism. This is the best suited answer. Now, this is how you have to solve the answers. This is how you have to get the answers. You can use the elimination strategy, and also sometimes you have to use your grammar knowledge, and also you have to consider the meaning of the sentences. Now let's move to the next question type. Next question type is MCQ, choosing multiple answers. You will be given a passage like this, and you have to select what are the matching answers. More than one answer will be correct. For this question type, you will be given negative marks. Therefore, it is advisable to select only one answer. And other thing is, this question type only give you very minimal amount of mark compared to the total 90. Therefore, do not spend any time for this one. Now, let's move to the next question type, which is reorder paragraph. Reorder question type is somewhat similar to this. You will be given a couple of sentences that are not in the correct sequence. So what you have to do is you have to rearrange them in a way that it will give a better understanding, better meaning, a better sense of better meaning for all together. So you have to rearrange them. Now I will give you 1.5 minutes. After 1.5 minutes, we will discuss this question. Okay, now let's discuss this question. When you have been given this kind of a question, first of all, what you have to do is selecting the topic statement, general overview of all of these sentences, and go through one by one. First one. Now, a range ecologist at this university says he's figured out why. Now he has found out what some kind of a reason for something based on this statement. We cannot use this as a topic statement. We cannot use as a general idea of a theme. Now we'll go to the second one. The main tool used to drive out the trees and encourage the grasses is controlled fires set every few years. Now, within every few years, so now they want to remove the trees, and they want to, at the same time, they want to control the grasses by controlling fires. So by using control fire, now this happens every few years. Now, based on the meaning, it says the main tool used to drive. Now, it says some kind of a tool that has been used for some particular activity, some particular thing. So now this also a just tool. So therefore, we cannot use this also as a topic statement. Now, let's see the third one. The sea of native grassland and once carpeted the United States Great Plains has steadily been disappearing, replacing at a disconcerting rate by trees and shrubs. So now what they do in this native grassland in this particular area in the United States is being disappearing. So now it's being reducing. So what happens? It is replacing by trees and shrubs because of those places are replaced with now new trees and some other shrubs. What happens to the grassland? It is disappearing. Now, let's see the fourth one. Yet, these fires have not halted the advance of trees and shrubs. So now, when you have word these, it is also very special. These fires, when you say these fires, before this statement, we have to say some kind of an introduction of a fire. So, we cannot use this one also as per the topic statement. And also at the same time, before this statement, before this sentence, we should have some kind of an introduction about a fire. Fifth one, the problem is not that control burns are too destructive, he says. It's that they are not destructive enough. Fire is not controlling or fire is not destructive enough. It is themselves not destructive enough. Now, which can be the topic statement? Based on all of these 5 sentences, general idea. Independent sentence could be the third one. Independent sentence is the third one. So now we have to drag this one in here as per the topic statement. And now let's see what is the next matching pair for this one, because marks are given for the matching pair. So if any pair is correct in the correct sequence, you will be given 1 mark. Now let's see what can go in here. Now it does say some kind of an idea about a grassland, and it says it is disappearing because of some trees and shrubs are replacing instead of the grasses in these places. Now let's see, this person says he has found out why. This can also be the next sentence. Now let's see the others also. The main tool used to drive out the trees and encourage the grasses is controlled fires. The trees, when you have the word the here, we have to have some kind of an idea about introduction of some trees. So now if you see the last part of the sentence, and now it is going to be the explanation of the next sentence. So now trees have been introduced. That main tool that they are going to use for the drive out, removing these trees, encouraging the grasses control fire. So what they are going to do is that they use fire every few years. So now we can actually use this sentence as per the next matching pair for the third sentence. Other thing I have to mention is, like when you see the last part of the sentence, mostly the next sentence start with the explanation of some kind of an idea about the same thing. Last part of the sentence is with trees. Now, next sentence could be start straight away with the same explanation about that one. So this is also one theory in resolving reorder paragraphs. So now when you take a sentence, just say the last part, and then last part would go and would be explaining further in the next sentence. Now let's see what can be the next one. Now, this person in this university has figured out why. Yet these fires, now you can see here, in this particular sentence, at last part is explaining some kind of a fire. So now, as I have mentioned previously, next sentence should start with some kind of an idea about what can be done with this fire or further explanation of what they are doing with this fire. So now let's see this one. These fires. Now, some kind of an idea about fire, how it is being used for controlling something is being explained here, and then it gives these fires. When you have this word these, it is really important, as I have mentioned previously also. Some kind of an explanation about fire should be mentioned in the previous sentence. Therefore, we can use this sentence as per the matching pair for the second sentence. These fires have not halted the advance of trees and shrubs. So now, this is not supported for stopping the advance of trees, growth of the trees and shrubs. This is not helped. And then this person, a range ecologist in this university, has figured out why. Now this says, now this person has found out what is the reason for this. So actually this can go in here as per the next pair. Now let's see the other sentence also. The problem is not that control burns are too destructive, he says. Now, when you have he in a particular sentence, in the previous sentence, his name has to be there. When you have a person's name, normally full name go first. And also, when you describe about that person again, we normally use he, him, her. So those kind of pronouns normally comes after, and the full name has to be first. Therefore, based on that theory, full name is here, pronoun is there after that sentence. Therefore, based on that theory also, sentence 1 should come before the sentence 5. So now this is how you have to solve the reorder paragraphs, and you will be given marks for pairs. You will, in this situation, you will be given 1 mark for this pair, another mark, and the third mark, and you will be in total given 4 marks for this question. Now let's discuss the next question type. Next question type in the exam is reading fill in the blanks. You will be given a passage with some blanks. You have to select the suitable answer from the list, and you have to drag this answer to the relevant blank. Now I will give you 2 minutes for preparation of these answers. After 2 minutes, we will discuss this question. Okay, now let's discuss this question. Scientists have established records spanning several decades that blank normal ozone levels during natural cycles. So during the natural cycle, something is happening to ozone levels. So scientists have discovered some kind of research. Also they have got some records of decades about what is happening to this ozone level. So what can be the suitable answer here? Depleted normal ozone level. Depleted is degradation or reducing normal ozone level. Actually, based on the meaning, that depleted normal ozone levels. It doesn't go in here based on the meaning. Predictable. Predictable is we can predict it. The future can be predicted. So decades that predictable normal ozone levels. Based on the meaning, that also doesn't go in here. Curtail. Curtail is also some kind of a reduction, cut down or reducing something. It also doesn't go in here based on the meaning. Several decades that curtail normal ozone levels. Normal ozone levels. That perform normal ozone levels. So here, ozone levels are not performing something by itself. Performing some activity by itself. Therefore, performing also doesn't go in here. Vary. It doesn't say based on the meaning that it is varying or it is changing. Some kind of a change is not explaining based on the meaning here. Legible. Legible is we can read. It is clear to read. So here, the best suited answer based on the elimination strategy, the suitable answer should be detailed. Now let's see whether this answer is matching here. Scientists have established records for several decades that detail normal ozone levels during natural cycles. Now, they have got some kind of records and that explain, that describe some ozone levels during the natural cycles. Now, let's move to the next line. Ozone concentrations in the atmosphere blank naturally with the sunspots, seasons, and latitude. Now, what happened to the ozone in different phases? Now, in different latitudes, what happens? Seasons. In different sunspots. So, what happens to ozone concentration? It doesn't stay the same. It has to be changed. So, now let's see what can be the suitable answer for some kind of a change or variation here. Now, here we have the word vary. We can use in ozone concentration in atmosphere vary naturally with these places. These processes are well understood and blank. Now, these processes, these kind of processes by these scientists have been well understood. Now they understand how does this happen, what is the reason for changing, and these things, these processes have been understood, and also what can be the answer here. Depleted. Depleted is decrease or degraded. It can't go in here. Predictable. Curtail, I told you, it is some kind of a reduction, cut down, and performed, understood and performed. So it doesn't say some kind of an activity has been performed here. Therefore, this also doesn't go in here. Legible is we can read and it is clear for reading. So now, based on the meaning, we can use this predictable wording here. It is understood and it is predictable. Now we can forecast because we have understood some kind of an idea. We have understood the process. Now we can predict something beginning in this period. However, so now this word is really important. When you have the word however, we are now going to say something totally different. We are now going to say something totally different or something negative. What that being said in the previous phrase, previous sentence. However, scientific evidence showed that ozone shield was being blank well beyond natural processes. Was being. Now, when you see this sentence, you can see this is in the passive form. Passive form. Ozone shield is the object here. Now, it has become the subject here. Ozone shield was being. So now, grammatically, when you have the word was, and then being is normally we are using in passive. Now the next word definitely should be the third form of the verb. We have two third form of verbs here, depleted or performed. Now what can be the suitable answer here based on the meaning? Now we are also going to see something negative. Now we already said that these processes are well understood, and now scientific evidence has showed that these ozone layers was being depleted well beyond the natural processes, performed well beyond natural processes. This ozone layer cannot itself perform something. So now what can be the answer here? The ozone layer was being depleted. So now ozone layer has been degraded well beyond the natural processes. This is how you have to get the answers. Now, let's discuss the next question type. The question type now I'm going to discuss is the MCQ choosing single answer. So that means you have to select only one answer. You will be basically given a passage and you have to select the suitable answer. Actually, this is the last part of the reading section. You can see which is the question number now, and you can also see the remaining time at the top right corner. Based on the remaining time, if you have enough time, just go through the passage and you can select whatever the suitable answer. So this question type also not very important because you will be given only 1.5 marks for this question type. If you have enough time, just go through the passage and answer. If you do not have enough time, just select whatever one answer before the time is finished. I think you have got some kind of an idea about the question types and the sequence of the questions that you will be given and the priority of the question types that is being received or the PTE exam under the reading section. I hope you learned something from the today's lesson also. I would like to invite you all to subscribe to my channel for not to miss any videos like this. Until we meet from the next video, have a nice day.